Welcome to New Sky TV shocking reveal, from 209,000 to 1.3 million views, the cruel truth behind Wang Haozhen's 4 dramas, and Guo Yuxin looking at that comparison table. I admit my first reaction was to rub my eyes. 209,000 pre-orders versus 1.3 million. This difference is greater than the psychological shock of going from a luxury goods store to a Pinduoduo shopping mall with free shipping. It's the same Wang Haozhen, so how did they become a Game of Thrones? Let's start with that skyrocketing 1.3 million viewers, from Media Garden. Business warfare? Revenge. The sheer number of exciting moments was like firecrackers during Chinese New Year, exploding until your scalp tingled. The female lead's investigation into her mother's death hit the audience's satisfaction nerves at every step. I personally witnessed my best friend, exhausted at 8 p.m., still screaming at the bad chairman on screen at 11 p.m., that look. So ruthless. I love it. The audience's emotions directly translated into a data explosion, CTR skyrocketed, comments flooded the screen, and the topic remained on the trending list for 3 days and 3 nights. The platform went crazy seeing this frenzy. Splash screen ads, push notifications, S+ level traffic packages, they poured money in like it was free. What do you call this? This is content plus resources plus timing, a triple synergy that propelled Wang Haozhen into the ranks of top stars. But, on another chart, that glaring 209,000 is the real wake-up call. It's the same Wang Haozhen, the same packed schedule of works in 2024, so how did he fall from grace? There's only one truth, the audience's fingers are more honest than a scumbag's heart. You think cramming the same face into 4 dramas will make the audience accept them all? Dream on. The platform packed the schedule like a train during the Spring Festival travel rush, wanting the entire summer and yearing to be a dumpling feast of Wang Haozhen. But the audience isn't a starving beggar, they have aesthetics, choices, and even a bit of a rebellious streak. The more you cram, the more selective they become. What's wrong with those 209,000 works? They were lacking in soul. Perhaps the script was unrealistic, perhaps the chemistry between the female lead, Guo Yuxin, and the main character wasn't compelling enough, or perhaps the platform was too stingy to even give it a decent splash screen, leaving it to fend for itself. When the content itself lacks a dense dose of exciting moments, when revenge becomes childish and business warfare turns into a PowerPoint presentation, why should viewers waste their time on you? In this era where attention is more valuable than gold, if you can't grab someone's attention in the first 5 seconds, you'll never get them back. Even more cruelly, the platform's resource allocation is itself a Matthew effect frenzy. What's popular gets even more money, what's unpopular is watched helplessly as it fades away. That 209,000 viewer is like a forgotten illegitimate child, unloved and neglected, ultimately reduced to a bitter smile in data comparisons. So, stop foolishly asking, why is there such a huge difference between the same face? The market has long since moved beyond the primitive society where looks mattered. Now, the competition is about the script skeleton, the character's flesh and blood, the production's finesse, and the platform's resource fire, the fire that can burn you to ashes or propel you to stardom. Wang Haozhen's 4 dramas are a large-scale industrial trial, a bloody test that tells us, the road to top stardom is paved with 1.3 million views, while the pitfall of 209,000 views is an epitaph for all those who missed the boat. Next time you see Wang Haozhen's face among those mere 209,000 views, don't lament your loss. Ask the platform, how long have you been treating your audience like fools? What's even more ruthless is that actor pairings are never a simple 1+1, but a gamble on chemistry. In Meteor Shower, placing newcomer Guo Yuxin opposite Wang Haozhen appears to be a veteran mentoring newcomer strategy, but it's actually a calculated contrast strategy, one sharp and restrained, the other aloof and stubborn. The clash of their R's inherently creates tension. The triple increase in Weibo interaction isn't a miracle, but rather the onlooker's effect created by the cognitive gap. Fans instinctively ask, why is she standing opposite him? Once this question is answered by the plot, it transforms into emotional reward. The so-called sweetness is essentially the dopamine release after the sense of confirmation is satisfied. Addicted to Marriage goes even further, directly using the lingering regrets of the previous couple as fuel. The regrets left by the previous work are like unopened love letters, a single glance, a side-by-side shot, can be edited into viral content by Fang Creations. The 908,000 pre-orders aren't just about nostalgia, but the compounding effect of IP memory. Algorithms identify highly interactive groups, prioritizing materials for users who have previously followed similar content, creating a precise targeting strategy. In this context, fan economy isn't about emotional consumption, but about data assets. As long as people are willing to repeatedly watch and share, the platform will judge it is worth investing more, and the traffic will snowball. Looking at So Long, My Son, the problem isn't a lack of effort, but rather a very low starting point in terms of audience perception. The female lead had little exposure, social media materials were meager, and even a character relationship diagram wasn't created. The most upvoted comment was "Who is this girl?", which means the first hurdle was already lost. In an environment of information overload, audiences only pay for what they are familiar with or what is extreme. Unfamiliarity without extreme elements equates to silence. The data lying dormant isn't because audiences are cold-blooded, but because attention is too expensive. Actor networks, IP recognition, and a fan base are all hard currency. Platforms naturally prioritize combinations that can quickly recoup their investment, leaving other projects to slowly build word of mouth and follow a long-tail strategy. But in this fast-paced era, the long tail often doesn't last. Then there's the platform and release schedule. This is the real invisible battlefield. S-level resources mean homepage recommendations, trending topics, and a barrage of splash screen ads, with algorithmic priority pushed to the highest level. What you see as a viral hit is backed by a massive army of traffic management. During summer vacation, students are on holiday, and social media time becomes fragmented, making suspense and action-packed dramas a natural fit. High discussion levels easily push daily viewership to the limit. The end of the year is different. Working people are chasing KPIs, even lacking sleep. Who wants to stay up all night deciphering complex psychological plots? Heart Order Disqualification was released precisely at this time, with a slow pace and heavy emotions, like discussing philosophy in a pressure cooker. The content itself wasn't bad, but it coincided with a low demand. To put it professionally, this is a classic case of a misalignment between release date and user time distribution. When content and demand are mismatched, even the best acting can't save the day. The market won't pay for what could have been, only for what's just right. Did the actors flop? Not necessarily. The real failure lies in the combination strategy and timing. So you see, from 209,000 to 1.3 million views, it's not a fluctuating fortune, but the result of a strategic game. The combination needs to have a memorable element, the release date needs to coincide with emotional peaks, resources need to be precisely allocated, and word of mouth needs to form a positive feedback loop. Missing even one link could cause digital progress to stagnate. But don't forget, the market is cyclical. Combinations amplified by algorithms today might backfire on audience tastes tomorrow. Works dormant today might suddenly be revived in a video editing session. What truly determines fate is never a pre-order battle, but the ability to consistently create must-see content. Then there's Disqualified from Order, which sounds like a sophisticated psychological drama with deep character development and intricate subplots. But after watching the trailer, I was stunned for 3 seconds. The plot's pacing was like a maze, with high information density but an even higher barrier to entry. What does that mean? It means that being niche isn't the problem, the barrier to entry is the fatal flaw. The comments section was filled with "What is this even about?" The immediate feedback from users shows that the conversion cost is too high. In the era of short videos, audiences have low tolerance. Office workers just want light entertainment after get off work and don't want to think too much about solving plot holes. The algorithm treats this kind of drama as an unpopular genre, suppressing its exposure, resulting in only 209,000 pre-registrations. In professional terms, it's a case of mismatched audience segmentation and insufficient coverage of interest graphs. Low conversion rates mean certain death. In short, no matter how good the content is, you have to lower the barrier to entry to a level that audiences can easily access. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.